start sweating.
Story time! My name is John Belkowitz,
I'm Whitney.
and we're here to talk to you today about the handheld penetrator.
Oh my gosh, what the hell? Sorry.
Stop! Be nice. You know it has a belt clip?
That is so cool.
I said that.
This is kind of like a pocket protector. I have mixed feelings about this.
It fits perfectly.
Oh my.
We're not talking about that today. We're talking about getting new technology onto a concrete job site without telling the engineer of record. Years ago,
Not ideal situation.
not
By the
ideal.
way.
About a little bit less than a decade ago,
Sammy was a baby.
Sammy was a baby.
So yeah, 7 years ago.
7 years ago, I was doing my PhD.
Mm-hmm.
And the focus of my PhD was to bring a new and emerging technology to the industry to help save the world with all the concrete in it.
Right.
But to do that, could not stay in a university basement.
Had to see real world applications.
Amen. Take the lab, or the bookcrete, through the labcrete, all the way to the...
Real creep.
What? And we did. We did, and it was published, and it was awesome.
Right.
But let's go into the story of how that really happened. So first and
I
foremost...
feel like you need a maniacal laugh with that.
Mwah.
No, not that.
No? So to get to the point where the ready mix provider trusted that the technology that they were putting into the back of the truck was a viable solution, we had to do a lot of lab research.
Right.
We had to prove the efficacy.
Right.
Whitney and I did that.
We
There's a video, and we'll post a link right below. So it started out with a lot of lab testing, 2-3 years of
Yeah.
lab work, using all the materials from Colorado. Bear in mind, we were living in New Jersey at the time, so we spent a lot of money shipping and schlepping
Right.
this material out, but we wanted to prove the efficacy.
Right.
Now, the job, do you remember what we were actually supposed to use it for?
No, I do not.
Some slabs at the plant.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to be keeping names
Yes, and airports.
and locations out of here,
Correct.
but it was a published article, so
Yes.
you're going to have to go find it.
The information is out there.
The information is out there. We were working with a very large ready-mix provider in the mountains of Colorado.
Correct.
And you remember what the concrete they were using?
No.
It was in front of an air rescue facility where they had to achieve 3,500 PSI in 24 hours to open up the hangars to these rescue
Right.
vehicles.
Okay.
Big old fire trucks and
Mhm.
ambulances. So not making the 3,500 PSI in 24 hours was
Yeah, not gonna work.
not going to work.
And they couldn't get it, right?
No, well, they could, but they had to add a bunch of non-chloride accelerators to the
Then,
mix.
which just made the concrete super brittle and cracked and all kinds of issues.
And susceptible to de-icing salts and
Right.
ASR, which was one of the reasons why they were using 20% FS. And that goes back to Whitney's comment of they weren't making strengths because 20% Class F fly ash,
You can't get those high strengths in 24 hours with that.
especially in the heart of winter.
Right.
I mean, Colorado, I don't know if you guys know this, it's cold in the winter out here.
Right.
And we were at 9,000 feet,
Right.
so it was cold.
Or
They were not making anywhere near the 3,500, and that's why they called us in with this new technology. So we're at the plant. We did 5 or 6 trucks, and the heart of it, we were just supposed to make slabs at the plant
Right.
for them to use. That's it.
right, and they were gonna do their own testing.
Right. And look it over a year or so and make judgments. But remember who the ready mix provider was? We can't say names.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I do.
I don't
know
remember
who you worked
it
with.
was. Yeah, he's awesome. So he's like, oh my god, man, this concrete's flipping awesome. And he ended up pulling out 132 pounds of total cementitious, still making the slumps, still making the air, making the strengths. And they said, hey, do you mind if we go bring this over to one of our job sites? It's just for a pilaster. It's just going to go into a lamp. And I said,
Sure.
why not? We did. Concrete was 3 hours old. Job site was only 15 minutes away, but we'd been looking at it, playing with the concrete, so we get there. Boy, oh boy, did they fall in love with it. I have videos that we could link up to give Patchouli more stuff to do.
Love it.
Love it. Then somebody said, hey, y'all have any more of this technology? And I said,
Yes.
would you mind if we use this on our taxiways? Did we say this was an airport? This was an airport where it's regulated by the FAA.
Yeah.
Yeah. We ended up getting this technology on the active taxiway.
Right.
Not the runway,
Right.
the taxiway.
Right.
In front of this rescue facility. Worked out beautifully.
Right.
7 years later, it's actually doing better than the reference.
It is.
Where the reference is falling apart, exposed aggregate.
Right. And I mean, it shouldn't be a surprise. They obviously created like a more durable.
Stronger, lasting
Yeah.
longer.
Yeah.
Saving the world with all the concrete in it.
That being said,
That being said,
the engineer should specify use of new technologies
the engineer,
before it is put. Who happens to be a
very good friend.
very good friend of ours.
Very good friend.
Hence the reason we're leaving out names.
Hence we're leaving out names, and this engineer said if anybody ever asks you, this stuff was used on a parking apron. Problem was, we had already published the article
Correct.
when we had told
And
her.
I think we won an award too.
Oh yeah, we
Like
did.
a local ACI award.
Rocky Mountain AC American Concrete Institute Innovation of the Year Award.
Right. Yeah.
Didn't know we were supposed to tell the engineer because I kind of put everything in the ready mix provider's
Right. We
hands.
just assumed they were following
protocol.
protocol.
Right. They weren't. And that engineer, he or she, lost their ever-living SHIT
Yeah.
on me. That you're not supposed to do that with FAA jobs. You have to go through a protocol, this and that. So,
That being said, they have better concrete.
that being said, they have great concrete. It's stronger, it's lasting longer.
Right.
It's not an exposed aggregate. You still see the brush strokes.
Right.
And we'll include those pictures here at the end of this video. That being said, the
Follow protocol.
moral of the story is, if you're getting a new technology onto a freaking airport,
Yes.
you need to go with the resident engineer, the engineer of record, to determine
If it is allowed.
following protocol.
Correct.
So thanks for joining us today when we talked about our handheld penetrometer.
Yes.
We totally did.
Let's throw this thing.
Don't do that, I love that thing. If you have any questions, concrete concerns, don't hesitate to ask. Like, subscribe, and comment.
Oh, also we have a podcast.
It's called The Concrete Note.
The Concrete Note.
Did you know that?
We would love for you to listen to it.
Go Concrete!
Beat asphalt.
Today.